Hey guys, in this video we're going to create this crypto mobile app design in Figma, and this is part of a UI kit which I created some time ago, so feel free to check it out by clicking the link in the description, and without further ado, let's jump into the tutorial. So the very first thing which I did here is to simply copy the JPEG of that screen, and we're going to create it from scratch. So let's hop over here on the frame tool, and we're going to use the preset iPhone X, and basically we're going to create this screen based on this resolution. Now I'm going to drag the border a little bit down in order to make the height higher, and let's start with the very first element, which is going to be the top heading, and let's go over here. Now I'm going to use a shortcut in order to access the color picker, which is Ctrl+C, and I'm going to select this border color. Now, as you can see, we're also having some boxes here which are gray. So I'm going to use the rectangle tool, and you can either click here or click on R. And I'm just going to drop the rectangle, and I'm going to use Ctrl+C again in order to access the color picker. So that's that. Now let's make it match the width of this iPhone screen. So it's 375. Let's do the same also for this one. Let's center both of them just to be sure that it's pixel perfect. And yeah, I think we're pretty much set. I'm going to copy the line again. And the only reason why I didn't apply the stroke to this rectangle is because I didn't want to risk having a line also on the left and right sides. So that was the reason behind this. And let's select the line again, and let's start adding the first text elements. So I'm going to start with the administration. Let's just over here, and I'm going to drag some lines in order to keep the structure solid, and just to be sure that this is actually going to work, I'm also going to just double check the distance between this. So let's create over here this rectangle, and this is just in order to check that the size is okay. And as you can see, we just have a pixel need to be adjusted. So yep, I think we're good now, and let's move on and make this text for the administration a little bit lighter, and we're going to go over here and transform it in order to make the text match the one on the right. And let's go over here, make it bold. And this is pretty straightforward. So I think this is looking good so far. So it's positive. And let's make this one a little bit bolder, and also just a tiny bit smaller, so we can match the actual design. And I'm also going to create a rectangle, bring this down, and I'm going to match also the color, and we're also going to give it a radius in order to make the borders of this rectangle just completely circle. So that's that, and I think this is looking good, and we're going to tone this down a little bit. We're going to make it heavy, and yeah, I think this is working out just fine. And one thing that we're going to do is to make the font a little bit bigger, a little bit, yep, something around these lines should do the trick. And we're also going to add the date over here. Okay, that's perfect. So we have our base, and I'm just going to make this one a little bit bigger. 10 should do the trick. And we essentially established the template that we're going to use in order to create all of the other ones. And I'm going to make this line smaller so that it doesn't cover the whole width. And at this point, it's just about duplicating what we already have. And I'm going to use a cool trick, which is hold Shift plus Alt. And I'm going to, after I've done that, you can see that I just duplicated it. And I'm going to use Command plus T just a few times in order to further duplicate along the y-axis. And this is going to be pretty good because it's going to allow us to save some time. Now I'm going to adjust the color, which I haven't previously, but it's not a big deal. And I'm just going to go ahead and create the different text over here. Let's just add them as we go. So as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. And again, guys, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section below. Always happy to help you out whenever I can. Like, my schedule is super busy with both client work and also like my personal projects and affiliate stuff which I'm doing. But yeah, whenever I can, I always like to try and help you guys out. So feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions during the process. And I'm also going to leave the link to this project, which is essentially a Figma link, which you can access, and you're going to find all of the projects which we worked on this channel on this Figma link. So it's basically all in one over there. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So you can see the actual files, how they are arranged, and you can see the real thing live essentially. So hope this is going to be helpful. And I think we're good with the administration section. Now we're going to copy this section down, and we're going to just do the same trick. So essentially what we're going to do over here is to, or actually I'm missing the view more, and I'm going to add this before we're going to copy it. So we add a view more over here, and we're good. Now, one other thing which I noticed is that the text has a little blue tint, which I haven't catch before. So I'm just going to copy that as well in order to make the design more consistent. And again, guys, I'm going to simply copy all of this portion right here to create the human resource section. And I'm going to click on Shift plus Alt, drag it down, and as you can see, I just duplicated it. And I'm also going to duplicate here the view more. And as you can see, the guidelines already show me that there is an equal distance between these two sections, so it's really helpful. Now let's go and create these other ones. I could have just copied these guys, and actually I think that I'm just going to do that because they're also aligned in the same order vertically, so it's definitely going to save quite a bit of time. And I'm just going to amend the text over here to human resources, and we're good to go with this section. So next one, it's going to be the management. So we're going to do exactly the same thing, Alt plus Shift, move it down, and here we have the management section, and we're going to amend the text over here as well. and here we go. So I'm just going to delete the text over here and select all of these guys and make them 5 by 5. Let's have a look. Maybe actually I'm going to click on constraint proportions in order to constrain the proportions, and I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger and try to center them. And at this point we're just going to copy the color, so one by one, just selecting them using Control plus C, and just selecting all of these colors right here, and yeah, we're pretty much set. So I think at the distance is 19. Okay, great. By the way, I'm using these smart guides by clicking on Alt. As you can see, this allows me to see all of the measurements really fast. So definitely something cool to keep in mind as you're working on projects. And now let's move on to the very last section, which is the overview section. And I'm going to type overview right here, and I'm also going to just drag and drop the different elements which we're going to need. So for the top labels, which are the name and the tag, and as you can see, we're having two icons, and I'm going to use icon jar in order to, let's just leave it like this for now. And I'm going to use icon jar in order to find the two icons, and this is synced with Google Material Design, and yeah, it's pretty, comes in pretty handy. And you can download it by just going on Google and type in icon jar. You're going to find it straight away. There's not many of these around, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Now let's see which one. Okay, label, we're good with that. And I'm just going to ungroup them and delete these two vectors, rectangles that we have behind them, because I don't think they add any value really. So that's something that I want to get rid of. And I'm going to go over here, add the colors, and actually I'm going to make this a little bit smaller just to make it easier to display at smaller on mobile. So yeah, that's that. And let's go right here and copy some of these guys out. And actually one thing that I'm going to do is to copy quite a few of these, and I'm just going to drag and drop them below. Okay, that's perfect. So at this point, I'm just going to get rid of these states right here. Don't need them anymore. I'm just going to copy these sections around. And maybe the best thing, since they're not in the same order, I'm just going to leave them on the side for now, and then we can move on later and just move them around. Just going to copy a few of these names just for consistency. And let's copy two more of these guys, and we're going to be pretty much set with this section. Right after I'm going to finish this tutorial, I need to hop on a client call, so this is going to be pretty cool. And yeah, I just want to wrap this up first, and then going to have this call just scheduling around 1 hour, so plenty of time to do this. And we're good to go with this. So just missing the USX. Now let's move this one up, and this one's going to go below. We have HRC, and we just need to add 2 more, which are custom ones, which we haven't created before. So that's the RS, then BRD. So that's that. Oh, okay, perfect. Now, the only thing that we're missing here are these profile pictures, and I'm just going to create this as default. And actually, let me do one thing. Now, I already have a few of these faces, and basically I'm going to drag and drop it in this file. Oops, it's going to be a little bit too big, so I'm going to click on K and just make these smaller. And where I found these is on a website called, let me find Chrome over here. Is on a website called UI Faces, and this is a great website, so uifaces.co. So you can simply download these by clicking on them, and then just downloading them, and or you can also right click and click on copy image or save it in your computer or Mac, and yeah, basically this is really handy because now we can simply go here, copy copy the style with Alt Command plus C, and paste it with Alt and Command plus V. So this is definitely something which is pretty cool. So I'm going to copy that a few times, and as you can see, these are not in the right order, or at least they're not vertically aligned well. So I'm just going to select all of them, make sure that the first one and the last one is aligned well, and then I'm going to distribute vertical spacing. So this is definitely going to help, and I'm just going to copy some of these randomly, and just finish this up, so we're good to go with this. And yeah, that's pretty cool. These are always handy for projects in order to really visualize what the final product is going to look like better. So yeah, it's definitely a good asset to have. Now let's have this line a little bit over here, and yeah guys, I mean it's not pixel perfect, but we're very close, as you can see. So oops, I'm just going to select V, and yeah, we're just missing the very bottom gray section, and yeah, we're good to go. So let me check. The only thing that we're missing is this logo. So ideally you would like to have an SVG file of this logo, but in this case I do not have it at hand, so I'm going to cheat, and I'm just going to take a screenshot. But guys, do not use logos with screenshots. It's not a good practice. I'm only showing this to you because for this specific tutorial we can get away with it. It's not a client project, and I don't want to waste your time by just searching the perfect SVG and things of that nature. I want to keep it high level for this tutorial, so yeah, you get the point. So this is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And again, guys, this is part of a UI kit which I created, and I created many UI kits, and you can click the link in the description in order to see them. And if you like this video, feel free to leave a thumbs up. This really motivates me to create more tutorials and free videos on UI UX. I also have a channel which not only talks about the software tutorials, but also the freelance design business aspect and marketing. So definitely check it out if you're interested in UI UX design, and feel free to leave me a comment and ask me any questions you'd like. I always try to reply, and yeah, so this is it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.